Hi, this is Mark from Earthside Astronomy. Now, I've had a few questions recently regarding the setup of the handpiece for the Celestron 4SC and similar sort of telescopes, the 6SC, for example. Now, the problem is that there's a little bit of an unusual way of setting up the sight on these telescopes. When you first set up a telescope, normally what you'd have to do is set up the GPS coordinates or select a city that you're currently at so that you can do your skyline. Now, these telescopes try and be a little bit clever on you and just remember exactly where you last set them up and continue on from there, which is great if you set up from the exact same site every time, but pretty useless if you want to move your telescope around. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through how to set up the sight on this telescope. Now, first thing I'm going to do is turn the telescope on. Now, you should be able to see it's coming up saying verifying packages. So that's starting up the telescope. Now, the first thing it's asked me to do is press enter to begin alignment. Excellent. Once again, if I was at the previous site, but I've moved, so I'm going to actually have to go into the menu here and set up my telescope site. Now I've gone menu, it's gone tracking, view site time. Let's see where we actually are. Melbourne, not Perth. So my telescope's not going to align straight away, straight out of the back there. Now, Melbourne, well, at least it's in Australia where I am. I have had a lot of people who've bought these things fresh, brand new from America, and they've come set up with the save site being America. So you start finding stars in the northern hemisphere and you have absolutely no chance of being able to align this in the southern hemisphere. So let's press back and set up the actual time and site of this telescope. Now what we've got to do is press down until we get to scope setup. Now this is a little bit of a strange way of doing things as well, but we'll just continue through. Now the first thing I want to do is press enter in there, set up time and site. Okay, so we're going to set up the time. Let's just assume that's correct. You're going to have to do that every time anyway. 1959, probably pretty close. Standard time, I could press down at this stage and change to daylight savings, but being that I'm in Perth, I don't have daylight savings, so I'm going to go back to standard time and press enter. Date, make sure you've got today's date in, enter. Now it's come back to here, which says set up time and site, which makes me think that I've finished doing the setup, but I've actually got to enter it, go back into that menu a second time, now that I've set up the date and time, and it'll allow me to set up a city or database. So I'll just choose city database now. North America, no way. South America, Africa, I'm going to go down to find Australia, enter. Now we've got Adelaide, no, I'm nice over in the west coast in Perth. Well done, I've got that. Now it's back to my time and I'm set up. Now I can otherwise continue in through here again and go through it a second time. Instead of doing SETI database, I should be able to go into custom site like this. Now, once I've gone into custom site, that's where I can put in my GPS coordinates, which could be the GPS coordinates of this site, 115.52, that's about where Perth is, but I'm a little bit further north, but I could put them in, but I'm not going to at this stage. Once I finish that in, I can choose whether it's north, south, east, west. Please make sure that you use the right north, south, east, west. So we're in east, which is correct. 31.57, I'm actually close to 31.49. I'll just change that by typing in 3, 1, 4, 9. Right, see, enter. South, yes, well done, we're in the southern hemisphere. Zone 8, that's your GMT time, we're GMT plus 8, so we're good there. And we can once again get in the time. Now, as I said, it's a little bit of an unusual way. Normally most telescopes go through this stage when you first turn them on. However, with the Celestron 4SE, you've actually got to go into your menu and set up your scope setup. So now that I've got the scope setup set up, I can go back in here and see view my time site. That's my local time site because I'm in a custom site. If I'd chosen Perth, it would have told me that there. So now that you've actually got that, I'm back to my alignment and I'm good to start using my telescope. Hope this helps, and I hope that you can find the your correct site now that you know to set it up in the menu section, not in the original wizard as per most standard SynScan and Mead and just about every other handpiece setup. Cheers.